Hey, my name's Fraser O'Leary. I'm with Kid Biz, and I just wanted to go through how to do our business idea simulation and do with it what you will in terms of whether you want to do all of it or not. But here's how it basically works. We have our Young Entrepreneurs Expo on Saturday, March 21st. So the concept is that at that expo, there are going to be hundreds of visitors and thousands of dollars spent, but what will they buy? And if you either already have a business idea that you'd like to share with customers, or if you like the idea of having a market and date in mind to create a business, whether it's a business that's an expression of your natural interests and talents, or whether you're just interested in bringing together other resources in order to make money, that's a good opportunity to do it. So we introduced the expo, the concept. There are customers there with your money in their pockets. And the question is, are you going to be able to put a business, a product, something that solves a problem or takes advantage of an opportunity in front of them that they value enough to give you the money for, right? And I want the kids to be thinking in terms of being entrepreneurs, meaning they don't have to have talents or interests. They can bring together other people with talents or interests. So that's really, when I do it, I try to focus on, don't worry about what you can do. What you can do is bring other people who can do things together in order to make it work. But that is what it is. All right, so second piece is we hand out the business cards, the business ideas, right? On each card, there's a business idea, typically a service. We hand those out. Let the kids look at them. So that was the first thing. I'm going to give you a minute to look at this business and to think about, what do you understand what it is and what it suggests that you do as a business? Okay. Then I ask, how many people here like the business that they're in? And typically it's a fairly low number. It's like, 5 or 6%. So then we give them the opportunity to exchange. We give them the opportunity to do three things. One is exchange their business with somebody else to trade. Two is I put out the remaining cards on a table, and I say, you can go in there and take a look at them. A lot of people do that. If they haven't already heard about an idea that they like, they go to the table and they look at the list of business ideas. Or three, you can partner up with somebody else and create, either a different business, a combination business, or just you go on somebody else's team. So then we ask the same question, how happy are you now? And obviously their happiness has gone up because they've had the opportunity to trade to improve their condition. So it's a little trading exercise as well. Number 4 is we get started with the questions, okay? Or we get started with what we want them to do. And the goal here is for them to see that they can put together a business, pulling together they need to identify who the customer is, what the actual product or service is that they're selling, and then what do they need in order to make the business work? Meaning, what are the pieces? If I'm doing a business where I do caricatures, then I need to have somebody who can draw, right? Like, it doesn't have to be me necessarily, but I do need that. And if I'm doing a dog sitting business, I need to have people who will actually sit the dogs. And the reason that I'm focusing on that is so that they can think in terms of acquiring other people's energy, other people's talents, other people's interests. In this case, they tend to gravitate towards businesses that they're interested in doing themselves. So the way it's set up, it doesn't necessarily lend itself to that, but that's the reason for it. So they're on their sheets of paper or on their cards, they write down name of the business, who their target market is. I typically ask them to define what their product is and to have a product or service that can sell for less than $25, because at the expo, they're going to have more success selling something for less than $25 than they are for selling something for $500 or $1,000 in the case of like social media management or video editing. So I try to get them to define a discrete relatively low price product that they can make a sale at the expo with. The expo can be about building a customer list or just building your brand or building exposure or finding partners, obviously, but that's the exercise there. And then the number 5 is we say, okay, what we want you to do is in a minute explain what your business is, and then let the people write down which ones they would invest in. And I typically say, what business do you think would be the most successful in terms of making sales at the expo? Because that's what we're focusing on, is how would you do at the expo. So that's the exercise.